In the age of digital connection, one message can change everything. But what happens when trust is misplaced and the friendly face on a screen hides a deadly intent? This is the story of Cynthia Osokogu, a young Nigerian woman whose life ended in betrayal, violence, and heartbreak. Born on the 10th of November 1987 in Agbo, Delta State, Nigeria, Cynthia Osokogu was the only daughter in her family, her father being an army general. She was a graduate of the English language department from Nasarawa State University. She was pursuing a master's degree in public administration. Friends described her as hardworking, loving, and ambitious, a young woman with dreams and purpose. She had opened her own boutique named Dress Code and was building something of her own. Cynthia had already achieved much by age 24. Like many young Nigerians, Cynthia used social media to connect with friends and potential business partners. In early 2012, she began chatting with a man named Okumi Echezona Nwabufo on Facebook Messenger. Over months, the two exchanged messages. He introduced her to his cousin Ezike Ilechukwu Oliseloka, and both claimed to be involved in the retail business. They offered Cynthia discounted goods to help grow her boutique. Believing she had found trusted business associate, Cynthia agreed to meet them in Lagos to inspect the proposed goods. On July 21st, 2012, she flew from Abuja to Lagos. "I've arrived safely," she said in a call to her mother, her last known words before she disappeared. Two men picked her up from the airport and took her to the Cosmila Hotel in Festac. To what followed was a nightmare. Reports indicate the men offered Cynthia a drink laced with sedatives. When the drugs did not act quickly, they beat, robbed, and ultimately strangled her to death. Her body was found days later in the hotel room. The autopsy confirmed asphyxiation. Cynthia was suffocated after enduring violence and restraint. When Cynthia failed to return home, her family raised alarm. Police investigation traced phone activity and CCTV footage to the Festac Hotel. The suspect was swiftly arrested. Several others connected to the crime, including a pharmacist accused of supplying the sedative without prescription, were charged. In the Lagos Magistrate Court, the suspects faced charges of conspiracy, armed robbery, rape, and murder. After a lengthy trial, two principal culprits, Okumi Nwabufo and Oliseloka Ezike, were caught, convicted, and sentenced to death by hanging. Sadly, her father, General Osokogu, passed on in the year 2022. Cynthia's mother sent shockwaves across Nigeria and beyond. It put a spotlight on the dangers lurking behind seemingly harmless online friendships and ignited conversations about internet safety, especially for young people. Her family urged caution, and authorities called for stricter regulation of powerful sedatives like Rolfinol, often misused in similar crimes. A 22-year-old Oluwabamise Ayanwole boarded a BRT bus in Lagos, Nigeria on the 26th of February 2022. It was supposed to be a normal trip home, but moments after boarding, she sensed danger and sent voice notes to her friend describing her fear. She never made it home. Days later, her body was discovered on Kata Bridge. Her death triggered national outrage and raised serious questions about public transport safety in Nigeria. Her case remains one of the most heartbreaking reminders that a simple bus ride can turn into a nightmare. In early March 2022, the tragic disappearance and death of Oluwabamise Ayanwole, a 22-year-old lady who boarded a BRT bus in Lagos, led to the nationwide outcry. The incident triggered a large police investigation. They had to identify the bus and its driver. Bamise was last seen alive on the BRT bus heading from Aja to Oshodi. She became uncomfortable during the ride and sent voice notes and videos to her friends showing the bus interior and the driver. This video helped investigators identify the bus number, the driver, whose name is Andrew Nice, aka Nice Omninini Koro. The driver fled after the incident. After Bamise's disappearance became public and the police began questioning Lagos BRT officials, the driver suddenly went into hiding. This raised suspicion and prompted the Lagos State Police Command to declare him a wanted suspect. Teams were deployed to locate him and alert the public to provide information. Police intelligence units began tracing his movements using phone tracking and information from transport officials. Within a short time, the driver was tracked and arrested in Ogun State, where he had fled to hide. After his arrest, he confessed on camera during initial questioning that something had happened on the bus. He claimed that some unknown men had attacked the bus, a claim that was later investigated thoroughly and found to be false. Following the investigation, he was charged in court with offenses linked to Bamise's death. The case proceeded through the Lagos judicial system. Onikoron was charged and tried in court on multiple counts, including murder and sexual offenses related to Bamise's disappearance and death. In May 2005, the Lagos State High Court found him guilty of Bamise's murder on the basis of circumstantial evidence, the victim's dying declaration, and last seen evidence. He was sentenced to death by hanging for that conviction. In April 2021, the entire nation of Nigeria was shaken by the heartbreaking story of a bright, hopeful young lady who was full of dreams and simply wanted a job. Her name was Iniobong Umoren, but to her friends, she was Ini. Iniobong Umoren, widely known as Ini online, was a 26-year-old philosophy graduate from the University of Uyo who was searching for a job while awaiting her NYSC call-up. On 29th of April 2021, she went to what she believed was a job interview in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. The opportunity arranged by someone she had contacted via WhatsApp. Instead of the interview she expected, Ini was kidnapped, sexually assaulted, and murdered by her assailant. Her body was found buried in a shallow grave in his compound. This is a case of deception, rape, murder, a cover-up attempt that raised questions about online safety policy. 26-year-old Iniobong Umoren was born into a modest home in Akwa Ibom State. She was the second daughter, close to her siblings and known by her friends as kind, intelligent, and deeply hardworking. She had recently graduated from the University of Uyo, where she studied philosophy. Like thousands of young Nigerian graduates, she was awaiting NYSC mobilization. She was actively searching for employment, even if temporary. She wanted to support herself and her family. Her friends described her as someone who never liked to disappoint anyone. She carried a sense of responsibility responsibility far beyond her age. In the weeks leading to her disappearance, she had been searching through social media for job ads. She often shared exciting opportunities with friends. She expressed concerns about being jobless too long, but no one knew that her final attempt to find work would lead to tragedy. Nigerians' unemployment rate in 2021 was among the highest in the world. Millions of graduates were scrambling for opportunities, any opportunity. Young people increasingly turned to Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, Nigerian job boards, hoping to find temporary work. On April the 27th, 2021, Iniobong posted a simple, heartfelt tweet. "I'm really in need of a job," she said. It received several replies. One of them came from an account later traced to a young man named Uduak Frank Akpan. The supposed offer? A job in Uyo, close to her home. Akpan messaged her privately, insisting he had an opening, steady pay, a legitimate business opportunity. To Iniobong, nothing seemed strange. He didn't ask for photos, he didn't flirt. He sounded professional. Another friend even joked with her online, "Don't go and get yourself kidnapped though." In April 2021, Iniobong posted on social media that she was looking for a job. Soon after, she was contacted by a man named Uduak Frank Akpan, who claimed he had a job opportunity for her. In the initial conversation, as reported, Uduak told her, "There's a job interview at my company. Come for an interview." Iniobong was cautious and informed friends and family about the interview. She shared the address, the time, the name of the contact. This would later become crucial. On the day she went missing, Iniobong had supposedly dressed formally and left home. Before entering the building, she sent a voice note to her friend. "I'm at the interview venue," she said. "I don't like this place. It looks like a residential building, not an office." Despite her discomfort, she went inside. That was the last time anyone heard from her alive. Iniobong had informed her family and friends that she was going for a job interview, but now had suddenly disappeared, it seemed. Her sudden silence raised alarm. It was reported that after arriving in Uyo, Iniobong sent a message to a friend saying, "I'm scared." But that was the last message anyone ever received from her. Shortly after, her phone stopped connecting, calls were not going through, messages were no longer delivered. This sudden silence was completely unlike her, and her family became worried within hours. The family reported her missing immediately. That same day, when it became clear she could never be reached, Iniobong's family went to the Akwa Ibom State Police Command, filed a missing person report. They did not wait for days. They provided police with her full name and photograph, the phone number she went to meet, her last known location, screenshots of her messages and calls. This quick action helped police begin investigation early. Police traced the job interview contact. Using the phone number Iniobong had communicated with, police investigators traced the line to Uduak Akpan, identified his residence in Uran local government area. It was discovered that Uduak Akpan was a jobless man who had been posing online as a recruiter. Police invited him in for questioning. On his arrest and interrogation of the suspect, police questioned Uduak Akpan. He initially denied knowing Iniobong. He gave conflicting statements. His story did not align with the phone records and timelines. Under further interrogation and evidence, he broke down. He confessed that Iniobong had come to his father's house, believing she was attending a job interview. According to his confession, he attacked her. She died in the house. He panicked and buried her body in a shallow grave nearby. Police were led to where her body was buried. After the confession, police officers took Uduak Akpan back to the location. He physically pointed out the spot where the body was buried. The grave was shallow, close to the family compound. Hidden to avoid suspicion, police exhumed the body. The family was informed and identification was done. After recovery, Iniobong's remains were taken to a mortuary. Her family was officially informed by the police. Family members were asked to come for identification, confirm distinguishing features and clothing. At this point, the painful truth was confirmed. Iniobong was dead. When police publicly confirmed her death, the arrest of the suspect, the recovery of her body, Nigerians reacted with national outrage. Protests were staged, hashtags demanding justice, calls for protection of women seeking jobs. Iniobong's case became one of the most painful and defining gender violence cases in Nigeria. Following the national outcry, Uduak was charged to court. Uduak confessed to the House on what happened. According to his testimony, Uduak confessed that there was no job. Uduak had lured her under false pretenses, planned to sexually assault her. When Iniobong realized something was wrong, she reportedly asked, "Where is the office? You said this was a company." Uduak responded dismissively and attempted to make sexual advances. Iniobong resisted. She struggled. She screamed. Uduak admitted in court that he raped her. After the assault, Iniobong was weak, injured, bleeding. She begged him for help. "Please take me to the hospital. I'm bleeding," she said. Instead of helping her, Uduak panicked. Fearing exposure, Uduak decided to silence her. He strangled her and watched her die. Following the confession of Uduak Akpan, he was charged with kidnapping, rape, and murder of Iniobong Umoren, a University of Uyo philosophy graduate who had been seeking employment. She disappeared in April 2021 after going to meet him over a purported job offer, and her body was later found buried in a shallow grave in his compound. On the 4th of August 2022, the Akwa Ibom State High Court in Uyo convicted Akpan of rape and murder. The trial judge, Justice Bamise Ayanwole, found the prosecution had proved the charges beyond reasonable doubt. Death by hanging was imposed for the murder of conviction. He was also given the life sentence for the case of rape. After the sentence was read, Akpan attempted to escape from the courtroom, attacking a lawyer and resisting handcuffing before security personnel subdued and removed him. Akpan's father and sister, who were also charged as co-defendants for allegedly being accessory to crime, were discharged and acquitted due to insufficient. This case would have been another cold, forgotten case, but thanks to the late Iniobong, who thought it wise to alert her family and friends, and to her parents who were swift with their report to the police. Nigerians whose public outcry shed more light over violence against women, particularly in situations where job seekers were targeted. Today we remember Cynthia Osokogu, Iniobong Umoren, and Oluwabamise Ayanwole. 3 lives full of promises, stolen by cruelty they never deserved. Cynthia walked with dreams bigger than fear, trusting a world that failed to protect her. Iniobong went out seeking honest work, carrying hope in her heart, only to meet betrayal and violence. Oluwabamise's story, like theirs, reminds us how quickly innocence can be taken when evil meets opportunity. They were not just headlines, they were daughters, friends, sisters. Their laughters will never be heard in quiet rooms. Their voices have been silenced too soon. Their deaths force us to confront hard truths about safety, about trust, about a society that must do better. Justice is not only about convictions and sentences, it is about remembrance, accountability, and change. As we close, let their names not fade into statistics. Let Cynthia Osokogu remind us to protect the vulnerable. Let Iniobong Umoren remind us to question, to stay alert, to demand safer systems. Let Oluwabamise remind us that every life matters and silence helps no one. May their souls rest in peace. May their stories awaken conscience, and may their legacy be a world where no one else has to pay such a price simply for dreaming, trusting, and trying to live. May their souls rest in peace. For more stories like this, kindly subscribe, comment, turn on your post notifications.